So we are just before July 1941, and things have changed quite substantially since last time. So the Commonwealth forces were stuck behind strong French defences for quite some time without being able to make any progress. But in the last few days, they've broken through significantly here on the coastal road towards Beirut, where they've gotten over this river line in quite dramatic fashion and cutting off a few Vichy French units, some of them were just able to get back behind this river, and racing up to the next line near Damour. And it almost led to a complete collapse here. Thankfully the French were able to release some forces here, Strat moved them back rapidly and just in time with some of their combat unit recovery, rebuild a very strong riverline defence along there. The Bekaa Valley has remained again very static. Now this is changed. The French forces, due to the cost of keeping a substantial number of units there supplied, were forced to slowly pull back up along this road near the lava lakes. The strong force that I mentioned that was Strat moved back towards the coast road, being no longer there, and the Free French forces no longer needing to cover their supply lines, have been able to come up and contest the road to Damascus, and significantly have now pushed over this river and are seriously threatening Damascus, and even potentially, if they can get to Damascus in the next turn, cutting off a significant number of French forces. In the meantime, the air war has been pretty devastating to French forces, with British raids on the Rayak air base and successful fighter sweeps, and they pretty much control the skies, bar a few remnant French forces. At the moment, it's the French are gambling on time, really, so it's whether or not they can hold out.
And what happened to the
12th of July?
What happened to the French forces that were located just south of that?
The Jebel Druze area. So they just slowly withdrew back up this road. It was unsustainable for the French to keep them there, given the cost and supply. The supply situation for the French, even though they've only really used their supply for defence, has been quite dire, quite difficult. And the 2T that was costing to keep those units supplied a turn ended up being unsustainable, even though this had a great effect, which led to the stalling of this part of the offensive. But it couldn't last forever. So that is the situation, and there are 7 turns to go until the 12th of July.